I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, a spin-off from the web series The Two Dicks. Hey, we're back. This is a real live episode. We've been showing our classic reboots from when we started out just at the beginning of the pandemic, and those are available on Fridays. But on Monday, it's Al Ducharme.
Monday.
And Al Romas. And Al Ducharme is in Sherman Oaks today, house sitting. And Al Romas is in his new digs down there in Tampa. How are you, Al? What's going on? Give us the lowdown on the new digs.
New digs, moved in, got home from the cruise, 5.5 months, got home. When did I get home? Saturday night, and moved into the new place Tuesday, hooked up the new Wi-Fi, 5G spot, buddy.
Woo.
5G spot happening. You gotta love that.
Woo.
And we were just talking about it. They don't send a guy out anymore to hook up your Wi-Fi and cable. They said, we will send you a router and a modem, or you can go pick it up and do it yourself, asshole. So I did it myself, as I always do. Anything myself. And now we've got crisp 5G spot Wi-Fi happening. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. You know, no more ship.
You're looking sound crisp and clear, and
I'm crisp.
We were challenged
crisp.
a few times when you were sailing. Obviously, you're going from a ship reception to a satellite, bounced back to a tower, bounced back to you. Yeah. So
weather and all sorts of things happening.
If it's cloudy, it's broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had people knocking on your cabin door, taking your temperature.
Oh yes, that was fun.
Rectal thermometers, and then you found out that guy was doing that on his own. He was like,
it was not a rectal. It was not a rectal. It was just a weirdo who liked to take anal temperatures, and we caught him though. We booted him off the ship.
After 4 or 5 times, I became suspicious.
That's right. It's like
hey, now, hold on a second.
What was that joke with the doctor going, the guy for the physical, and then the guy's like, you're going to have to stop masturbating? And he goes, why? And he goes, because I'm trying to give you a physical. Something like that. So
that was very funny. I remember the gist.
Yeah, the jism of that joke was a good one. My hair looks, I got to get a haircut, I think. I got a haircut on the ship before leaving, but and the poor girl on the ship, they didn't tell them where they were still, the week we were leaving, a lot of people who worked there didn't know if they were going home Saturday or if they were continuing on to Europe and dry dock. They hadn't told them yet on Tuesday. 3 days from when everything's going to happen.
If they went to dry dock, meaning they'd stay on the ship during construction, that's like, isn't it like a 20-hour construction day? Isn't it like, because they have different shifts come in, or is it 24 hours? It's like
I've never done it, but I think what I've heard, it's pretty much 24 hours because they got to do everything in 2 weeks, and they do it while they're sailing to Europe. They bring on the crew, and then it's just, what I've heard is just noise and hammering and sawing and 24/7, no AC on the ship when it's happening. And it's a nightmare. And usually you can leave, you can get off the ship, but now they can't. So
you're in Europe and you can't get off the ship.
Exactly.
Wow, that's suckaroonies.
It's not good. And then they sail back and they go to Galveston, and then they'll be
Galveston, oh Galveston.
That's a beautiful Glenn Campbell song. We learned that on a few ponds ago. If you were listening to K49, that's FM, we learned Glenn Campbell, Galveston, big hit.
And, sometimes this show is informative. I mean, you can actually learn something.
I agree. And I think, our title makes it sound a little silly, but we do give out some good info on occasion. And then other times it's
just bullshit.
It's a bunch of shit.
But we don't try to fake it, the bullshit. Our bullshit is real, man.
We don't fake it. We don't. Not like Leslie Nielsen in Naked Gun. Remember when he breaks up with Priscilla Presley? And he goes, by the way, I faked every orgasm.
Classic. I love reliving those moments.
Oh my God.
laughter.
I could watch those things. Those are the funniest goddamn movies. Seriously. Just hilarious. And,
If you really want,
deadpan.
yes, deadpan is the key. And he was a trained dramatic actor. So for him to actually blossom in his career in his latter years was amazing, because he had all this professional theatrical training, Shakespeare, stage, and film.
And for the Zucker brothers to cast him, to go, we should take that guy and make him Frank Drebin. You know, I mean, it's hilarious. Holy shit, is that funny?
And George Kennedy as a sidekick.
George Kennedy and OJ. Remember OJ Simpson is Norberg.
Yeah, Norberg. He gives him a Jewish name. Norberg. It was pretty funny. This is before OJ was killing ex-wives.
Oh, yeah. Well, before that, when we liked OJ. OJ was a good guy, and then he had a bad night. I think OJ's I think he's not a bad, horrible. I think he had a bad night.
No, he snapped. He snapped.
Yeah.
It was, you know.
He snapped. Yeah.
He snapped a couple of times. He snapped when he went down to retrieve his memorabilia from those guys in the hotel and ended up serving another 7 to 9 years.
Yeah, that was always a weird case, because that, I mean, I know someone brought a gun, but it's his stuff. They stole his stuff. That
was like a 18 months to 2 year sentence, but because he was OJ and he got away with murder, they let's just nail him. It was kind of unfair, to be honest with you. Yes, he's a murderer. He decapitated 2 people, but you're saying he broke the law and skirted the law, and got off. But you're going to break the law to put him behind bars for a much lesser offense. I mean,
we were all happy about it, but it doesn't really make sense. I mean, he served time on a charge that doesn't really exist. Nobody gets 9 years for what he did, but because in the judge's eyes, he got away with murder. So they were like, "We'll just make this happen. We're going to make this, where you can serve a sentence."
It's a contradiction of what it all stands by, for me, anyways. Again,
contradiction.
He's a murderer. Clearly, I'm totally convinced. He's a murderer,
but not guilty.
But they bent the rules and exaggerated the rules of the law, to get him back in jail.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm glad he served some time, but it's kind of a weird thing. I don't like the idea that
they could do it to anybody. That's the point.
That's right. The judge can just go, well, I'm going to make an example out of you
based on the 2013 case.
Mm-hmm.
In the state of Nevada, O.J. Simpson versus the whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We don't want that used against us.
No, there's, So anyway, hey, I want to get to this before we were off the air chatting. You were chatting. I was listening, and you said something about you enjoy a fortune cookie, and that's your thing. You like the taste. You like the fortune, but it seems your wife, there's a problem with the fortune cookies and you, and what's happening with that? Fill us in, man.
I wanted to ask you, because you're kind of my podcast therapist at times. I like fortune cookies. We've been married for 17 years. We've known each other for over 20. And one of our first meals.
I think it's about done. I think it's about over.
I think we're way over.
What, are you trying to set a record? Come on.
No. I'm trying to get out.
17 years. It's good.
I'm asking you for some tips. Maybe maybe the fortune cookie is the catalyst to get me out of this thing.
Okay. All right. Maybe your fortune cookie says, get the fuck out. Run.
It actually did. But I didn't know if it was telling me to get the fuck out or her to get the fuck out.
Oh, and it's whoever opens it. Go ahead.
One of our first meals together was Chinese food. So at the end of the meal, you get your little fortune cookie. Now, some fortune cookies are better than others. Some of them are soggy.
That's a cheap date. That's a cheap date there, Alfred. Chinese food.
All right. Let me just say, I think that we were all with a group of comedians. We went out for Chinese food. So
all right. Really fair enough. Okay.
We shared a meal together.
All right.
I like the fortune cookies. We get Chinese food, order out every couple of months. We order out and we get some fortune cookies.
Of course.
I like the taste of them. I like opening up the plastic part, pulling the fortune cookie out, breaking it open, pulling out the fortune, and then reading it. And then I give her hers. And I go, read yours. She goes, I don't really like fortune cookies. I don't like the taste. I just like the fortunes. I go, okay, break yours open, give me your fortune cookie, and then you can keep your fortune and read it to me. And that's the way we've been doing it. We've been doing it that way for 20 plus years. Okay.
I like it. No problem.
We ordered Chinese food the other night there's a Chinese place nearby that we don't go to that often because we're house sitting, but it's nearby. We get this Chinese food.
Yes.
We eat it. She takes the fortune cookies. She puts them in the sink and then fills the sink up with water because she's going to put them down the garbage disposal. So all the fortune cookies are they're expanded like a floating corpse in the Hudson River. Yeah.
When did this behavior start? What's happening here?
So what I'm saying, this is deep, man. This is something. She's telling me something. She's telegraphing me something. So I look over and there's 4 fortunes on the counter lined up in a row. And there's 4 floating fortune cookies in the sink ready to, and I go, what are you doing? She goes, I'm cleaning up. I want to get this all cleaned up. I go, the fortune cookies. She goes, oh, I forgot you like them.
What?
Is she telling me she wants a divorce?
I've been eating these fortune cookies for 20 years and you forgot I like them?
It turned into a Seinfeld episode for the next 15 minutes about the fortune cookies. And now I'm sharing it on the podcast. I think it goes deep. I think she's telling me either A, she's having an affair with the pool boy. Do
you have a pool?
No.
Okay.
We're staying at a place that has a pool, and there's they have like landscapers and pool people, and the cleaning woman comes in at 8:00 in the morning. I don't care for any of this. I don't know how these people do it. I don't know how these wealthy people live like this. But anyways, I was just wondering, do you think it's like something deeper that's going on there?
I think it's odd. I got to be honest. I don't know if it's so deep. I think it's very strange that after 20 years of eating fortune cookies and knowing that you enjoy the fortune cookies, you just decided to throw it in the sink and down the drain. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything deeper in there, but I could see you being like, well, what the hell's what's happening right now? You know what I mean? So maybe she had a stroke maybe check her out. Maybe she might have stroked out for a few minutes.
She might have stroked out. She might have snapped like OJ.
Well, she might have a little Alzheimer's or something, or Al Ducharme-heimers. I don't know. Where she's like, I forgot my husband enjoys a fortune cookie. That seems very strange to me. Unless, did she read the fortunes? Maybe she was upset by the fortunes and thought, I better get rid of these. As you know, it says time to go younger or something. And she saw it and went, fuck, I got to get rid of this fast. You know what I mean?
I was so upset by the situation that I didn't even read the fortune. She said, look, I saved the fortunes for you. So I said,
like the cookie.
I said, you like the fortunes. Right. I like the cookie.
This is a breakdown.
So this is serious.
This is a mental, I think she should have an MRI and a CAT scan.
I think
she needs. Did she fall recently? Seriously, I mean, this is just weird.
Well, I mean, I shoved her, but it wasn't. Well, it was an accident.
For legal reasons, she fell. She fell.
And, she tripped in her sleep. All right, I'm just putting it out there. If you have anything that you want, listeners, if you have anything that you want to comment below of what the underlining meaning could be, let me know. I thought it was pretty obvious. She's saying, she's telling me something. She's telegraphing me something.
It's strange. I mean, I don't know. That's behavior 20 years worth of, hey, my husband enjoys a fortune cookie. And then suddenly I'll throw him down the drain. He doesn't. Oh, I forgot. You like them. What?
You know what it is? Weird. I went away on a cruise ship and I went to the gym every day and I ate pretty healthy.
Right.
I lost a little weight.
I
got a little son.
Right. A little boy?
I came back.
You have a son?
I have a son.
Oh, I never knew. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe that's why she's pissed. You came home with a son. She was like, fuck you. You're not getting a cookie. We've been married 20 years. You don't come home with a kid. I mean, it's a little rude, to be honest.
It was a little rude. I didn't give her a heads up.
Hey, you didn't give her a head or a heads up. So she's pissed.
She is pissed.
Take care. You got to take care of that woman.
I do.
Then she won't throw out your cookies.
We got to move on to other things right now.
Okay.
I'm glad that you have your new digs, by the way. I'm glad that you're allowed to smoke cigars on your balcony without getting complaints from neighbors.
I know. Beautiful thing.
That's still, I think you're not being honest with me. I think there may be a rule that you're not supposed to smoke, but you're breaking the rule and you're waiting for someone to say, hey, you can't do that.
No, in fact, sir, this place is it's like I'm a time traveler. In the lease, I went through the whole lease. In the lease, it says, while we will not tell you not to smoke cigarettes in your apartment, we prefer you not to. And if you do, when you leave eventually, if it smells, we're going to have to keep your deposit. They're letting people smoke cigarettes in the apartment.
Okay. All right.
And the balcony is open to any kind of cigar or cigarette.
Okay.
I've never heard of anyone smoking cigarettes indoors anymore. So I was amazed by that. I think I time traveled back to 1971 or something. It's possible.
Both of my parents smoked, and we were unaware that the house smelled like smoke because we were a part of the environment.
Right.
But years later, when I went off to college or started living in apartments and whatnot, then I'd come home and I'd be like, oh my God.
Right. But who smokes? I would never smoke a cigar in the apartment it's crazy.
No, because your whole house will smell like a cigar.
Of course. Mm-hmm. But I can't believe that, because you would think the lease would say no smoking, obviously indoors, and maybe on the balcony is okay. But this is like, we're not telling you what to do. So, yeah, welcome to smoke a cigar outside. I did it last night. It was delightful. And
freedom.
And it's great to be back on the land. I'm going out tonight. I'm going to check this out. I'm going to a speakeasy. I think you have been to one recently. You had, or performed at one or something. We
performed and produced one in our yard.
Oh, I'm going to a real one. A real, like, old school in St. Pete downtown with a password and
eyes wide shut.
Yeah, I'm going to wear masks and have an orgy, and it's going to be awesome, man.
All the girls are going to be wearing a blue dress. All the guys are going to have cigars, and there's going to be some poking and prodding.
I hope so. God damn it, I hope so. And let's eyes wide shut. Alfred, give me the password. How do you get into the party? What's the password? You got it. You know it. Hit it.
Oh, don't make me pull it. No, you're testing my brain.
Hit it.
Hit it now. All right.
Hit
there
it.
It is. There it is. I got it. It's in.
Oh, come on. What? Disappointed.
Right.
I thought you'd know it. I thought you'd know the password.
I can't retain it right now.
Who was the guy who gave him the password? Who gave Tom Cruise the password?
Jeopardy.
Who gave him the password?
I don't remember.
Dude. Nick Nightingale, the piano player, tells Tom, I'm going to play at this wild Long Island party tonight if you want to go. And he goes, what's the pass? There's a password. He goes, what is it?
It's more than password. It's password plus.
Fidelio.
Wow.
I win. Nothing.
No, that was good. And that was a tough one, though. That was a tough one.
I've seen the movie a bunch of times. It's one of those movies, either people go, I love Eyes Wide Shut, or they go, I don't get it. I don't like it. It's creepy, but I love it. I thought it was great.
I want to watch it again because I saw it 26 years ago, 27 years ago when it came out.
Got to watch.
It's a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Yes.
So that alone is enough reason for me to watch it again.
Right.
And there it is.
But and there's a lot of bad parts of it too, where like you go, because he filmed the whole thing in England, but they tried to make it New York City. But it's like a guy who's never been in New York, so it's like his vision in New York. So the street doesn't look like a New York street. And then there's, for no reason, Tom Cruise is walking, and this gang of just white guys in their 20s start calling him a faggot. And it's like one of the scenes where you go, that doesn't even make sense. Like, why would they do that? You know what I mean? They're like, you're a faggot. And he's like, then he's looking at them like, why? But I think in Kubrick's mind, that's New York. Like, if you walk down the street in New York by yourself as a guy, a gang of local weirdos will call you faggot. You know what I mean? So Seems strange.
It does.
There's moments there that didn't work.
I've experienced and witnessed that very same thing.
Well, I know. Well, but as I was saying, and I thought Al's probably been called a faggot in New York before, so I feel bad.
Kevin Flynn was coming out of in L.A., not New York, but in L.A. He was coming out of a health club, just coming out, and some guy yelled out. He yelled out. He was in some big SUV. He yelled out, "Faggot!" And Kevin goes. Kevin looks around, and he realized he was in West Hollywood, which has a big gay community. And he goes, "Go fuck yourself, pal." The guy slams on the brakes, jumps out,
oh boy,
runs over, and tries to grapple Kevin.
Wow.
Kevin throws him to the ground and punches him in the face. The guy gets up, runs, get into his truck, holding his head, and speeds off. So he's this homophobic. He's probably gay. The guy was probably gay.
Probably.
And was having such a hard, married with kids, and had such a hard time with it that he was going to take it out on somebody that he perceived as gay.
Yeah, but you got to, if you're going to stop the van and get out, you got to know how to fight. You can't just be running at somebody thinking I could probably take him. You got to know how to fight then, because odds are you're going to lose. Like that guy, he ended up losing. I mean, who stops their car and gets out and goes, and doesn't know how to fight? I don't get that. You know what I mean? Yes.
And also Kevin, athlete, very quick. And this is like 20 years ago. Athlete, very quick. And jiu-jitsu, karate guy, like classes and all that. So he knew exactly what to do. It's like,
right. Yeah. It was like that Rogan thing where I told you on a pod from months ago where Rogan at Governor's was getting heckled. And then this guy in the audience said, I'm going to kill you after the show. I'm going to kill you. And Rogan, 1993 Joe Rogan. And he was like, you're going to kill me? All right. And he finished his set. And then he just got off stage and went out in the parking lot, waited. And then we all were out there. And the guy came out the door and he maybe was 2 feet from Joe, and Joe's fist was into his Adam's apple. And the guy was down gasping for air.
Well,
and then Joe kicked him one more time under, like in the gut, but right above the nuts. And the guy went on his back and just laid there. And it was like, you're going to kill me? Okay. So
he did threaten his life.
Right. But know how to fight then if you're going to, if
back
you think
it
you're going to
up. But he also didn't know that Joe, who has a temper, by the way, much better than he used to be. Because I know Joe. But he's not a big guy. When he was Joe's like 5'5",
he's a short
5, and
and he's wearing a big hockey jersey, so you can't see any body muscle. So he looks like a wimpy comic. So this guy's like, I'm going to kill you after the show, just so you know, I'm going to kill you. And Joe's like, great, yeah, no problem. See you there.
Joe's a killer. He's like trained to kill. I'm not saying he's killed anybody, but he's capable of killing somebody. And his temper is controlled now, but it was back then.
Right.
In his 20s.
Quite impressive though. Yes. I was very impressed with and the whole thing took 10 seconds, and then we're back at the bar having a beer, and it was like nothing ever happened to him. He just was like, who cares? Like, guy was an asshole.
I would have been talking about that with my friends, and oh my God. And he came out. I would have been a mess even if I had
I'd be telling that story every night. I'd still be telling that story.
Well, I'm not so much bragging, but how much it affected me.
I'd brag.
And the guy came at me, and I was like stressed out, and I'd be like, and I would try to give myself my own advice: tell the story, don't relive the story.
Oh, is that your advice?
Yeah. Because if it's a bad story, no.
Have you taken that advice ever?
No, not at all.
No, okay, because whenever you tell a story, I feel like I'm fucking reliving it with you. So I'd like you to just tell it, for God's sake. Jesus, that's good advice, though. Listen to that.
I give the best advice. I should take my own advice, but I don't.
You should take
I'm a mess.
Not relive it. Not relive it. Well, if you had a fortune cookie every now and then, maybe you could relax.
There it is.
You know what I mean? Jesus, let her.
All right, can we move on to something else? Because I wanted to talk about this.
Please.
I think you heard about this.
I like it. You have topics. I like it.
Daryl Strawberry came out on social media, I believe it was on Twitter or Instagram, to please help find his granddaughter. His granddaughter went missing. And his daughter, Daryl Strawberry's daughter, Diamond Strawberry, she put it on Instagram as well. Please pray for us and help me find my daughter. blah, blah, blah.
Diamond?
Now, Diamond. Her name is Diamond Strawberry, and her profile picture is of her, and she's a well put together big girl and wearing a bikini.
What does
like
that
a-
mean?
like
Well
a-
put together, big
she-
girl. What does that mean?
She looks like maybe an out of shape Serena Williams.
And out of so fat. You're saying a fat lady.
I wasn't trying to fat shame. What I'm saying
I am.
is,
No, if she's
I know
out
you're
of-
a fat shame.
No, I'm
you're-
not. Serena,
You lost
Serena
30.
Williams,
You lost 31 pounds, and you're fat shaming everybody. That's
Serena Williams is big and in shape, but if she's
Yeah.
not in shape, she's big. I'm being, I'm just painting a picture for the listener.
yes,
What you're trying to say.
right. So she's
Yeah.
big, but
Mhm.
she's not an athlete
Right.
like her
So she's
dad
fat.
and Serena.
Right.
And she's wearing a green fluorescent, like Kermit the Frog on acid bikini color with colorful sneakers or something.
And she
Getting
went
out of a
missing?
car,
How can
and she
anyone not see
puts
that?
it up, says, "Please help me find my daughter."
I would think it's rather easy.
Well, it is a happy ending. The daughter was
I love
found.
a happy
Daryl
ending.
Strawberry's
Love a happy
grit.
ending.
Yeah, I know. Of course you do.
Mm-hmm.
She was found safe and sound, and there you go. But
At a Burger King.
just how do you not change your profile picture to like you're wearing a dress with pearls and being proper, maybe some glasses.
And
Please help us. Pray,
I saw.
pray.
I didn't see the. I didn't
Pray
see the
for us.
picture. I
I'm
had just
going
saw
to church.
Daryl. I just saw Daryl. Her name, the granddaughter's name was My Lisa. That's her actual name.
Mylisa, one word. My Lisa.
My Lisa.
Diamond's daughter is my Lisa.
I mean, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Where was she found? Did they say? Was it Baskin Robbins? Was it McDonald's? Where did they find her? Did they point that out? Seriously, where was she?
I do not have that information, but she's safe, and that's the important thing.
Well, that's good. I'm glad because I love Daryl. Daryl Strawberry, when he's been through it all.
Oh,
and
my
he's come
God.
out. He's clean. He's doing great, and that would be too much. I mean, he's
3 World Series, 2 with the Yankees, 1 with the Mets. Right?
Yeah, and a career that had not been for drugs and different. That he would be.
Yeah, he was
Hall of Fame. The numbers.
Rookie of the Year, MVP.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Him and Gooden at the same time
Dwight,
on the Mets.
Dr.
They
Dwight.
should have had multiple World Series, everything. But they were young. You can't even, not even their fault. You put 22-year-old guys into Manhattan and they're the biggest athletes in the last 50 years. And they didn't have a chance. I mean, seriously, they didn't stand a chance.
It's a challenge. Joe Namath was lucky.
In what way?
Broadway Joe. I mean, he's kept it together. I mean, I'm sure there's some indiscretions, but he was a pussy magnet.
And he was booze only. I mean, it was no drug.
Booze.
He was booze.
Yeah.
He was a booze guy.
He was a boozer. But
Sure.
even today, Tom Cotter just did a benefit fundraiser.
I saw
with
the
him.
picture. Very jealous. That's
Yeah.
that's one of those guys you got to meet someday. Joe Namath. And
Joe Namath.
fucking Tom Cotter's standing there with his arm around him. Holy God. Great picture.
And Chris Berman flanking him on the other side. So that was cool.
Kind of cool. Very cool. But yeah, that's like everybody in our age range. If you ask who's the coolest guy, he's one of the top 3. Joe Namath. I mean,
Oh yeah.
no doubt about it,
Broadway
And
Joe,
if you don't
baby.
know Joe Namath, look him up, folks. If you're young and it's quite a career. And the guy was making movies. He was one of those first athletes. He'd be making movies in the off season. He had commercials with Farrah Fawcett for shaving cream, and it was pretty amazing. He made a movie with Anne Margaret. It was like they're on motorcycles, and it was like they would cast Joe Namath. He can't act. He can barely talk, but they're like, it's
As a
fucking
tough
Joe
guy,
Namath.
motorcycle guy.
Put him in.
Yep.
Right.
Throw him in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was getting endorsements like Peyton Manning was getting endorsements during his
Right. And this was
career.
really one of the first to be able to do it, like where they could just sell anything, I mean,
shaving cream, Brute aftershave.
Brute. Yeah. Is that still around? People still wearing some Brute?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
No.
There's gotta be,
Do you Do you wear a cologne, Alfred? Are you a cologne man?
I have cologne. I have the blue. It's called blue.
Blue balls. Yeah.
Well, apparently, because of the fortune cookie incident, I will be having blue balls for the next few weeks.
You would think after that incident, she would do the opposite. She'd be helping you, apologizing for such a behavior of ruining something you enjoy. You think she'd be throwing herself at you going, Alfred, what can I do for you? I'm so sorry.
Maybe she is, but I'm not paying attention.
Oh, I see. You're playing that game. Okay.
You know what it is?
Right.
We're at a friend's house, and I'm not comfortable taking a roll in the hay in a friend's house. It doesn't get me worked up.
Really? You don't enjoy a little? No.
No,
No?
Not in their bed.
Well, do they have a guest room?
They have 3 bedrooms. Yeah,
room?
they do have 3 bedrooms.
You go in another bedroom. You don't do it in the master. You do it in the other one.
Well, one is the college-age daughter's room. That might be work out.
Hey, now.
That would.
Or you go over to the slaves' quarters. Go to the slaves' quarters.
Well, that's an office now. It's not
there.
There is a garage.
Right.
There's a garage.
Right.
There's a pool.
Oh.
There's a pool and all that, but it's I feel like the people in the McMansion next door.
They can look in.
His name is Ryan. You know what he does? He's got a power squirter, and when you're out in the backyard talking, laughing, having a good time, he shoots his power squirter over and gets you wet. He douses
Who's that?
you.
Is that Mrs. Ryan?
That's Ryan, the son, the next door neighbor's son is named Ryan.
No, I was kidding. Power squirter. You didn't get that. Okay,
No,
we'll move on. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and I get doused with this power squirter. And both of them, both Kevin and Aaron go, Ryan, stop it. He always does this. I'm like, he always does it? How about you go rap on the door and say, hey, asshole, I'm going to punch your face. I'm going to punch your face next time your kid squirts me when I have people.
I'm going to get Joe Rogan. I'm going to get Joe Rogan to come over and punch you in the
throat.
windpipe.
Right in the throat. Right in the friggin' throat.
Yeah, man. Goddamn right.
All right. Tell the nice folks at home what they can do, how they can follow us, and all that other good stuff.
We need you to rate and review. We love the reviews. We post them on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. If you write a review, you say you enjoy the pod. We blah, blah, blah. We put it up there. We let everybody see it. People like it. It's fun. Do that. Rate and review us. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on whatever you're listening to right now. And join the Patreon. $5 a month is with videos and extra stuff. And we'll do some kind of a Patreon thing coming up soon. We're going to do a live stream now that we have good, crisp Wi-Fi. We should do a live stream with, and people and connecting with everybody. And,
your lighting is great today. You look like you're in a professional studio, by the way.
Nice.
What are you doing for your lighting? May I ask real quick before we say goodbye?
What am I doing for my lighting? I have
and goodbye.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary.
Go to patreon.com/forward2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.